Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the C&L Performance front brake calipers in red, fitting 2005 to 2023 6-lug Tacomas. If you find your truck is in need of some new calipers, these are going to get you some refreshed stopping power as opposed to your stock ones, and they make a great replacement for worn out stock units. They don't require any modifications to fit, and they provide you a nice pop of color in the wheel well too, and they're going to cost you a lot less than a replacement from Toyota themselves. Though we don't talk about it very much, you could actually consider brake calipers a wear item. Since they've got a ton of rubber seals in there, eventually they're going to give up, they're going to get stuck, or they're just not going to put out the clamping force that you need, meaning that stopping will quickly become a big problem. And obviously, being able to stop is quite important. Now, these are designed as a direct replacement for your stock calipers, so they're the same type of 2-piston design as your originals, and they're going to work with factory brake pads, which means that running costs for you are going to be low, and it's going to be easy to get new pads when you need to fit them. Plus, these come out of the box already finished in this bright red paint for some added protection and a nice pop of color, so it saves you having to do that part yourself too. But the most important part of something like this is that at the end of the day, these are brand new calipers. So all of the seals are fresh, new premium units, and they're all going to be sealed up nice and tight, so you don't have to worry about issues with pressure or leaks. In fact, each unit is inspected and pressure tested as well, so you can be certain they're going to work right the first time. And of course, they'll look good for a long time as well, thanks to that red finish over top, and they come ready to bolt on, including the hardware like new slide pins in the box. So that makes a pretty simple installation. We'll talk more about that though in a moment. Pricing for the set here will come in at about $250, which is a great price considering the fact that just one caliper from Toyota is going to cost you more than that. Trust me, I looked for you. Now, you're not getting a big brake kit here. This is not going to necessarily make for better performance than you would have gotten with a factory fresh stock one, but if you want or need new calipers and you need to refresh your braking system, this is going to be a great way to do it for a fraction of the cost of the OEM equivalent. As far as installation goes, we're going to give these a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you about 3 hours to complete. Now again, these are going to be a bolt-on replacement for your stock ones, no modifications required. However, replacing calipers does require that you bleed the brake system afterwards. So you're going to need either a friend to help you or a brake bleeder tool. Either way though, not a terrible job, just one that's going to take you some time. With that though, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process.
For this install, you need a 3/8 ratchet and a 17mm socket, a mallet, a 10mm line wrench, an 8mm wrench, brake fluid, brake clean, and brake grease. All right, today we're going to be putting some calipers on our Tacoma, so let's get started. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking our pads out. So we have our retaining spring on our clips. Take that off. You take our pins out and our second spring. We might need to compress them a little bit. We should be able to just wiggle our pads out. And then now we can take our caliper off. All right, so now we're gonna grab our ratchet and 17mm socket. We're gonna loosen our caliper bolts. We're not gonna take them all the way off yet, because then we're gonna take our line off. All right, now that we have our caliper loose, we're gonna grab our 10mm line wrench. We're gonna put it on our brake line here. Now what you're gonna wanna do is have a bucket or a drain pan underneath, because you will have brake fluid dripping down. So we're gonna crack that loose and spin that out of the caliper. All right, once you get that off, what you can do is you can use your bleeder cap and kind of use that to cap that off. And we can take our bolts out of our caliper and slide it off. All right, now you can repeat that same thing for the other side. All right, now we're gonna install our new caliper. Just make sure that you have the right side because the brake line will go in a specific spot, and also you want the bleeder valve at the top. So we're gonna put our caliper over our rotor, thread our bolts in just a little bit to hold it in place, and then get our line on. All right, little change of plans. Just because we don't have a lot of wiggle room with the line, we're gonna put our line on first and just hold the caliper in place. So we're gonna pop our end off, put our line into here, thread it in with our line wrench, get everything snug, and then put our bolts in. All right, got that snug. It's not all the way tight yet. Then we can thread our bolts in. And we can tighten our bolts down with our ratchet, 17mm socket. All right, and then just tighten down your line all the way. All right, we're gonna reinstall our pads. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grease up the edges where they're gonna slide on the caliper, and then we can install our pins and our spring. So I'm gonna grab some brake grease. Same thing for the other one. We can put our new supplied pins in. We got our top pin. Make sure they go through the pads. All right, we can put our bottom spring in. It's gonna hook in to the pad here. So the same thing on the other side. And our bottom pin will go through. Make sure it goes through the spring like so. All right, it might be a little bit tough. You just might need to get a little rubber mallet, just tap the pins through. And once they're through, we can put our locking tabs through. All right, you just repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, so now we're gonna walk you through bleeding your brakes because you wanna bleed them properly so that they will work properly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the hood, top off the reservoir, and then we'll show you the actual bleeding process. All right, now under the hood, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the reservoir cap off, and we're just gonna top it off. We're just gonna bring it up to the max. Just when you're during the whole bleeding procedure, you just wanna keep an eye and make sure you keep topping it off so that you don't run out of fluid in your reservoir. All right, now for the bleeding procedure, you can bleed in multiple different ways. What we're gonna do is kind of the buddy system here. So I'm gonna have a buddy get in the truck, and basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call him out to pump up the pedal and then hold. And while I say hold, he's holding the brake pedal. I'll release the pressure, let the air get out of the system, and then just repeat that process 2 or 3 times, and then we'll be good. All right, so pump up. Hold. Pump it. Hold. Pump it. Hold. Pump it. Hold. All right, now what you're gonna do is get some brake clean up all the brake fluid that went everywhere, just to get everything cleaned up. And also, I forgot to mention, I was using an 8mm wrench for this bleeder. All right, then you want to put your cap on for your bleeder. And then you just repeat the same bleeding process for the other side. All right, now after you've bled both sides, just make sure that you properly top off the brake fluid reservoir so that's at the proper level.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the C&L Performance front brake calipers in red, fitting 2005 to 2023 6th lug Tacomas. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Tacoma, be sure to keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.